Hello everyone, welcome to MzansiOz Diary. My name is Connie. If you're new here, you're very much welcome. So today's video, we're just gonna have a look at this report about the $10 million lawsuit for Meghan Sussex's. So this lawsuit has been making headlines, and for a while now I didn't want to talk about it until one of my subscriber posted a video in their channel talking about it, about this video, and I thought, oh, better have a look at this and do my research and see what's in it. As always, anything to do with Meghan Sussex it's either made up or exaggerated for outrage. All right, and you'll learn why I'm saying it. It's for outrage, business of an outrage. This is one, looks like this is one of them. So she's been threatened with this $10 million US dollar lawsuit over a DEI bath salt. It's a bath salt recipe that she actually shared in her Netflix show with Love Meghan. But here's the twist. The twist is from legal experts, and I've spoken to some of our legal experts at the Thrive Pathway. As we are a business, we provide leadership and personal development programs online, and we also provide mentoring programs as well. We sort of had a look at this case, and I thought, well, okay, I better have a look and consult with legal experts. But what is actually going on here is this case, has this case have any merits at all? So at the start, this thing is very shaky at best. You know, it's at best. You only have to just go to X and to see the person who's making the claims and then realize, oh my God, what is she on about? You know what I mean? So, and I'll actually explain why. So in episode 1 of her Netflix show, Meghan shared a personal recipe, and that recipe about bath salt had Epsom salt, pink Himalayan salt, that's what we call anicut oil, and lavender as a gift idea. A person can, as a gift idea that a person could do for someone to give as a gift. So a woman by the name Robin Patrick from Maryland, as reported in the news, our mainstream news. This is from mainstream, not just the tabloids of the daily crap, but the real news media. Even I saw some of it from Sky News Australia. A lot of news reporting this. Okay, so as I said, our news have turned into this, profit for hate or profit for outrage. And actually, they don't really cross-check things they report. That's my concern about it. Because if you're going to report a story about this, and it's to do with accusing somebody for doing something, you better do a little bit more digging about what you're reporting about, what any merits, and make sure the story is balanced. But as always, think anything about Meghan and Harry is always biased, is always reported in bias, from the biased lens, not on whole giving a balanced view of what the effects are, what are the possibility of this, and so on. So this is one of them, the story. So apparently this woman by the name of Robin, she created the blend and suffered a catastrophic bans. Now, as a result of that, she's threatening to sue Meghan, Netflix, and the production team. Yeah. So Meghan's lawyer by the name of Cameron Stracher clapped back. He clapped back very hard. He says there's no legal duty of care between Meghan and the plaintiff. The ingredients are not inherently dangerous, which we know they are easily available, used. And the plaintiff has diabetes. Yeah, which is a known risk factor with Epsom salt use. Of course it is. That's one of the things you advise people not to use any bath when you have diabetes. Okay? So any form of a soaking, bath soaking people use. Okay. So that's the kicker there, right there. And it's reported by all of our media. They reported this. And also, most importantly, the recipe that was shown by Meghan on her show is protected under the USA's First Amendment free speech law. So in short, it's a reach. Now, here's where it gets a little bit murky. So the screenshot that you see right here show that the plaintiff asking on X, formerly Twitter, for someone to send her the recipe, not out of curiosity, but apparently with clear anti-Meghan biases. Yes, it wasn't because she was interested to, uh, you know, interested to use it to have a recipe so she could try it herself. It was just with a clear intention of having an anti-Meghan biases. And also the fact that this very same recipe was she asked for. What if the recipe was wrong anyway? If it had any merit, let's say, oh, there's a bit of merit here, but if the recipe was wrong, was copied wrong by the friend, you can't actually sue Meghan. So the question is, as we asked here, was this a wellness accident? Was this really a wellness accident or a setup? Was it a wellness accident or a setup? Because, since Meghan and Harry left the royal family aren't happy about that. They are out of that confined of the Buckingham Palace. They are free people. They're doing the things they do. And they're not happy about it because they're very popular and very famous. So everything that you see that's reported by the media, it's about Harry and Meghan. Just today, Sky News Australia had about 5 or 10 article. I lost counting about just Harry and Meghan. And that it is that business of outrage created in the social media that allows them to write these articles, so in the hope that it will help damage their reputation, so then they won't earn any money and then they will return to the royal family. Because as long as Harry and Meghan are out of that royal family is nothing. It's nothing. They might say, oh yeah, they're doing really well, they're managing. No, it's nothing. You only have to have a look and see what the activities that royal families do, and you see how many people are engaged in those activities. Not many people are engaged in those activities. Not people, at least not the people they want them to be engaged. They're young and future people who are in a generation that will actually sustain the viability of the monarchy, not the young people. For old people who are likely to be gone in the next 20 years, they're the one engaged. But if you don't have young people engaged in your activity, if the whole nation is switched off from anything to do with the HIH royals in the Buckingham Palace, and they're very much interested with people outside of Buckingham Palace, the Meghan and Harry, the whole weekend was about them going to that show. Everywhere you look was social media was trending. It was just Harry and Meghan and that cowboy cutter show, Beyonce show. So it was nothing about the royals that was written about them in a way that was positive, that would actually allow people to be engaged. So the whole thing about this stuff about Meghan has done that of this negativity is really designed to force them to lose any credibility. So they then have no way of earning money, so they can then return into that royal family and then be outside of the mainstream so they can go back to be under that control. And they're hoping that they could do that so that Harry can return, not Meghan. We know that they don't want Meghan to return and they want Harry to return. So that is the whole thing that they're doing this. Because I cannot understand why they would want to publicize a claim like this be splashed around all the mainstream media about this lawsuit has no merit at all when you look at it. And when you look at the staff of the person, they failed even to report to this, the stuff that I'm telling you about this plaintiff, that she actually asked for a screenshot on X and asked someone to send her the recipe, not out of curiosity, but apparently with a clear intent of anti-Meghan bias. So that can tell you that if you are a news media who is reporting about Meghan, you don't actually cover all of that. It suggests to me you're engaging in this outrage, engaging in this propaganda. You want these people to fail so they can break up. Harry can return to the UK. That is only thing that for me, my analysis, I think I'm on it this one. That is an intent. The intent is to set them up, have people like this one to bring about lawsuits that have no merits at all, and that anything that you see on television, and in fact, America's First Amendment is very hard in America to bring about a lawsuit like this because of this First Amendment, and it'll be so hard even in South Africa to bring a lawsuit like this because of the First Amendment that's there. In other country, maybe it could be depending on the law, but we're looking at something in America that people who are reporting on this should actually know that it's nothing bigger. Even in here in Australia, it'll be hard to bring about. I had asked somebody who's a lawyer, who works at us here, and now it would be hard to bring about a lawsuit of this kind, of something you watch on telly and you've got a pre-existing condition and you're going to claim that as a result of what you watch on telly, you use that, and with the pre-existing condition that is known to actually be impacted by bath salt, any bathing like diabetes, and the very ingredients that you bought, that someone buys from the shops. When you buy Epsom salt, it has a warning about people with pre-existing condition like diabetes not to use it. So yeah, but there we are. So we really need to talk about this, how race, bias, and misogyny continue to shape the way Meghan is treated and the way Meghan is reported, both in the media and the legal arena. Okay? So I had a look at this channel, the Black Belt Secrets. It's a channel called Black Belt Secrets. It's called, and the title is called Legal Trouble. I Told You So. I listened to it, and he said he had analyzed the video of With Love Meghan before, and he was concerned about how Meghan could be sued. I mean, to be honest, people, every time I kind of sort of have a sense that anyone that comes from the UK has this biases towards Meghan. He actually, because the title say legal trouble, I told you so. I mean, if you are a lawyer, you claim to be a lawyer, you think there is legal trouble here, to be honest? After I've told you all about what the circumstance, the background about this case, is there any legal trouble or just somebody who wanna get into a bandwagon of profit for hate, profit for outrage? I did try to analyze and then became a little bit about more technical about how things would work out, but the case, based on the background, has a little bit of no merits. Okay, he dissects the case with sharp insight and also with that element of biases, Meghan Markle bias, Meghan Sussex's biases around it. But yeah, it's still, even though the title looks so negative, when you listen to it, at least he tried to be a little bit more professional about it. But it's a very obvious one, this one, that it has no way of even seeing a day in the court in America, apparently, from the people that we spoke to. But you can have a look at that analysis of his video and see what you think about it. Yeah, but it's still another Meghan Markle, sorry, I always call her Markle, Meghan Sussex is still another Meghan Sussex's outrage type of thing. All right, so yeah.
So Meghan Markle might be in some serious legal trouble, and I hate to be the guy that says I told you so, but I told you so, because I did say when I did my little review of her Netflix series thing that when she was talking about the bath salts and experts were saying that, well, this might be literally a recipe for disaster, I said that she might be in some serious legal trouble.
Yeah, finally, another headlines, another lawsuit, but this time the claims are looking paper thin. Meghan Markle, again, has been targeted yet again, and we need to ask the question, why? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe, because we got more to unpack this week, a lot more to look behind the scene and to see what's the story there, what's making this so sustainable by these news media. Like I said, for every black woman out there, you need to be concerned about this Meghan Markle outrage hate campaign that has been driven by our mainstream media. They've been driving this stuff, and it's, you need to be concerned about it, because sooner it be you, sooner it be me, sooner it be someone else, and with someone else with no resources as Meghan. So this is very important that you pay attention to what's going on around Meghan. All right, thank you guys for listening. Until next time, see ya.